Dry run number 1. Hi. Some of you may know me as Lyrith, admin on the boards. I don't pop up much, but I have on occasion. I'm also in some videos known as Niftus. I can't wear those masks today. Not after everything that's gone on. Dad would be here to do the update, but he's sick. With a fever of 101, and all the other BS, like his company and friends attacking him, but that's not now. Hi there. We haven't been formally introduced. I'm Nathaniel. I've graduated from Huguenot High School with a GPA of 4.0. I've been through the International Baccalaureate program from years 9 through 10. I finished both of those years, did my entire personal project. I have gotten awards, I have done community service, I have worked in the MSI, the Math Science Investigators. I've worked on advancing science. I've worked in the I was in the diploma program. That's the next step of IB. I went through a year of that, and I broke down because I had hurt a friend. Well, shouldn't say hurt. I betrayed a friend's trust. And because of that, they wouldn't talk to me. I got stressed out and got really sick. The first time I had to go to the hospital in over a decade. I bring this up because I'm human, like you. I've been through crap. I've had, in elementary school, a child protective service agent come in, talk to me, and I'm not allowed to get my file on what happened in that meeting. I have learned that that particular agent had taken children and raped them. I have nearly not existed because I was in a car crash before I was given birth to. I almost didn't exist. I tell you this because I have a bias. I'm human. Some may claim they're not. I am. I am flesh and blood, Homo sapien. I do not use that as an offensive thing. I do not mean that as an empowering thing. I am what I am. I hurt people. I help people. But most of all, I use terms that others might not agree with. My dad uses them all the time. I say this because I have a very particular vernacular, a set of words I'm going to be using today that might not be in the common dictionary, or at least not how I meet them. And while yes, I could look for the proper term, it's easier to use what I know than what you know. And a lot of you do this. Well, at least I would hope a lot of you do this. I plan on talking about a few things. Cognitive dissonance. When you find something that contradicts what you originally thought, making you believe that stronger, even though you have evidence to prove otherwise. Because that's how you think. That's what you know. So therefore, you're going to follow it. It's why religion works as well as it does. And not to bash religion, I understand it has a place. But you also have to understand that I come from a particular view. I'm not religious. So I do not follow a theist point of view. I believe that there is a God. I will not put a name on him because I will not be arrogant enough to know what the gods think. I've done some basic research. I have looked up the Black Sun Society. It's a whole lot of occult symbolism BS. The main part of that is the Black Sun. That symbol that's on the front of Renegade Radio, when you pull up Renegade Broadcasting, that is the black sun. It's a shining black sun. But we'll leave the shining part out for right now. The black sun was used by the Nazis, by white supremacists. That particular shining symbol is to say that that is the light to follow. It is why when they have a blazing cross, that is the holy light to follow. Now I bring up the Nazis because Renegade Broadcasting uses a lot of their terminology. The round table, the shining, the great and blazing black sun. All of it is more or less directly lifted from Nazism. Now, that's not to say that immediately that's a bad thing, but the connections run deeper than that, like ideology. My dad does not support white supremacy. He did 30 years ago, back when H.M. Rebel, but that part of him died a long time ago. He looks at what's going on now, and he sees a mirror. And like a mirror, you can yell at it, you can scream at it, you can punch it. It will not change it. I don't want to yell, because yelling makes people not listen. There's been enough yelling, enough arguing, and more than enough gatekeeping and hiding from a few parties. But this part of knowledge isn't gatekeeping. When one of the higher ups of Renegade Broadcasting uses the term Aryan and uses it as an empowering term alongside the round table, the black sun, the blazing black sun, and all this symbolism, all this white pride, it can't lead to anything good. It's white supremacy. When you bash Jews, when you call yourself Aryan, when you're part of Renegade Broadcasting, you're more than likely working with white supremacists. Not more than likely, you are. Now, there's a difference between working with them and being one. You might work with them and not realize it because you haven't looked. Which is fine, because if you're listening to this and you say, "Oh crap, I'm working with white supremacists, I'm gonna stop," that's a good thing. That means that you actually care about people. But when you have cognitive dissonance and push further into that hole, you're becoming who Dad was 30 years ago. Don't be Dad 30 years ago. He's pushed through that. He's grown. It took him dying to do it. And I don't mean, oh, spiritually he died and awoken. No, I mean his heart stopped. Yeah, Dad's been through a lot. But that doesn't mean that you have to repeat his mistakes. You don't have to fall for the same trap he did. You don't have to follow and attack people because the leader does. A man leads, a slave obeys, and obeys every master that his master makes. My dad is not a slave. He has pushed against that for years. And if you don't know that, you ain't his friend. Now, I'm not gonna bash you. There's enough bashing and yelling and fighting and arguing. I don't want to attack anyone. But from where I stand, as a human being with my own bias, Chris Dorsey, please. When Dad got attacked, and you came to him, you did not come to him saying, "Hey, you got attacked, let me help you," like Glenn has. You came to him and yelled at him. That doesn't sound like a friend. That sounds like an authoritarian, like someone who wants power, who wants to be in control. I thought you were better. I know I shouldn't attack you. But when you make when you leave messages like you have, when you've sided with white supremacists, when you sided with the Nazis, basically. It's kind of hard to side with you. So I don't want to attack you, because I don't want to side with Dad, I don't want to side with you. I don't want to be a part of this. But he came to you as a friend, and you came to him yelling and arguing. Has he not earned your trust? Or at least enough trust to know what the mission is. He's confused. He wants to know what the mission is. He wants to know why you continue with this. And I don't mean to yell. I don't want to start a fight. I'm just trying to say what my dad can't because of his anger. Because of his anger, and because of your anger, you two can't talk rationally. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it had to come to that. I know what losing a friend is like. I've hurt them. I've been in so many of your shoes. I don't mean that in the literal sense of I've been in your house. I mean that in the I hurt a friend. I wish I hadn't. Please. Even if he will no longer trust you, he's a good man. Even if he is an angry man. Help him. And help yourself. He's gotten you out of jail. He has done so much. He has stood beside you for so long. It would be a real shame to lose something like that. Now, that's enough. Renegade broadcasting is white supremacy. Or at least it has sided itself along the ideologies of white supremacy. And as such, we will label them as white supremacists. We will agree with the Southern Poverty Law Center, say they're a hate group. Now, that's enough anger. That's enough hatred. Let's talk about something more lighthearted. Dad's got articles coming out. They'll be out once he can get them done and once he's not sick. And you may or may not have heard him coughing before. I apologize. He is still sick. We will be working on a new website. I will have my own part of it. I will be trying to stream most weekdays and sometimes weekends to try to have a community, to discuss things, to become more than just what we are. Because if we stand divided, we will argue and fight and kill each other. A community, nay, a society needs to work together. Not to kill itself, but to push itself forward. And to that end, my live stream will be, you will be able to ask questions if Glenn is awake and you have questions for him, or if you want to ask me what's going on. I will try to give you a place to do so without having to wait for someone to post something on Facebook. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. And I hope that things can get sorted out. This has been Nathaniel Sutphin giving an update for Get the News Straight. I hope that you all have a pleasant day and that this can get sorted out soon.